What up, my cheese army? Welcome to 2016, where I talk to you everything movies, TV shows, and technology. Welcome. I'm the Cheese Monster, your guest host for this YouTube channel. And welcome, because next week, starting on Tuesday, we got Agent Carter Season 2, the premiere 2 hour special that's gonna hit up. And honestly, I don't know if you guys seen Agent Carter or even know her that well, but I'm gonna tell you reviews, no spoilers, of course, because this show is worth it. And honestly, I think that you should go watch this show. Okay, so let me start it off. So Agent Carter is set in 1941, where Captain America pretty much is like, she's dead. Apparently, he's dead. And Peggy, of course, does not know if he's dead or not, but believes that he's dead because of the radio frequency. If you didn't see Captain America 1, I'm sorry, I just spoiled it for you. Don't leave that in the comments. Anyway, Agent Carter is busy. She's going to the detective agency, and she's a secretary, and because she's not really a detective-ish person, and of course she's a girl and a woman, and she's not the best, so everyone's discriminating, saying, "Oh, you're just Carter, you're Peggy. You can't do much. You're a woman. You can't do anything at all." And kind of felt sad about that. Anyway, like everyone was pretty much asshole in the detective agency. Even like the girls were like, "Yeah, you know what? You should be stuck to like phone call receptions or just be a secretary or whatever." And honestly, I was like, "Yeah, you get him." Anyway, so Agent Carter, of course, is trying to live in society and gotta forget about Steve Rogers when Howard Stark comes in and said, "Hey, have you heard on the news that like my veggies have been stolen?" And Prager was like, "Yeah, you were an asshole on freaking like TV and stuff. Yeah, I heard. Why are you doing this? I think you're bad." And so it's like, "Nah, someone stole my inventions, and I need you to help me get them back." And of course, Peggy's like, "Nah, I can't do that. I got stuff to do. I'm trying to be a detective agency." And after Howard's like, "You know what? You should do it. I can only trust you." And of course, Peggy falls for it and says, "Hey, I'll help you out." And of course, Jarvis, human Jarvis, comes in and says, and then Howard's like, "Okay, so you can take my personal butler with you, and his name is Jarvis." And, throwback, Jarvis, Tony Stark, their reference. Anyway, so Jarvis goes to one of Howard Stark's houses, and of course stays there. And Peggy says, "I don't want to live here." And of course, she lives in a girls' hostel and all that. And that's pretty much all I can say without actually spoiling everything. And she goes in all of her rise to find these inventions. And of course, bad things happen. She finds little by little of what is happening to all these inventions and who's behind the mastermind. Of course, first of all, I gotta give props to Peggy Carter. She's one of the best, and honestly, the best characters that I've seen on screen right now. She's just she's on she's good. She was good in Captain America 1, but I couldn't see much about it. That's why I liked when they made a TV show about it. I was like, yeah, you should explore her character more. And of course they do, and they really go in depth, and it's really cool. When she's sad, you're sad, and when she's happy, you're happy. When you're mysterious, you're mysterious. You're pretty much Peggy Carter. And of course, Jarvis, who plays her, is also Jarvis. Like, she totally sounds like Jarvis. Of course, there's minor differences, but this Jarvis, come on, you cannot like that. Of course, he's not AI, he's a dude, but come on, Jarvis. And of course, Howard Stark is one of the best characters, and Tony Stark's dad, younger version of him, and honestly, he's one of the best characters right now. I mean, he's did the job well. He wasn't there for much of the episodes, but he's definitely a good actor. So when he's around, it's good. Of course, the villains that play him, like Dottie. If you don't know Dottie, but like if you watch the show and watch the review, you'll know who Dottie is. She is really good. You should check out and see what she does in the end, because she's not a side character, guys. She does a really lot. And of course, the villain, who's like the hypnotist, he's also really good. Of course, I won't give you much about him. He doesn't really appear in all the episodes. He appears to the latter half, but he's also a very good person and very sick villain, and I thought he was intimidating as fuck. Anyway, this show is amazing because the characters had a lot of good chemistry with each other. It felt natural, even if it was 1942 or 1941. It's one of the best settings, scenarios, and all the action packed. Got a good element of story and a good element of action. There was never a time where I was bored out of my mind. That was the issue with Marvel sometimes. They always have that episode where it kind of slows down. Whereas this episode, it barely had any of those moments. It kept on going and going and going. It never actually stopped. It was one of the best shows. That was fast paced, of course, and it involves you. It gets you into the Marvel phase, and it definitely explores Peggy Carter's character, and especially every single other character, because there's no other real reference to the Marvel characters except Steve Rogers, of course. And honestly, this is one of the best shows, and you guys gotta watch this show. Give it props to ABC and Marvel who created this show. Explore a character that we don't know much about, and if you do know much about it, then you still watch the show. She's Peggy Carter. Who wouldn't want to watch Peggy Carter? Anyway, another thing is that the plots never get you down. They're never really plot driven, but they're never really action driven either. They always have a mix of both, and that's the good thing about shows. They never like, oh yeah, well, this is an action movie, an action show. That, and then next is like a plot, so it's not like a sine graph or anything. It just goes down and up and down and up. Yeah, I brought Matt and just who gives a shit. Anyway, this show is one of the best shows that I can ever say, especially with all the Marvel shows that are coming out. And honestly, if you're a Marvel fan, you're gonna love this show. If you're a person who loves action, you're gonna love this show. If you're a person who loves plot and development of characters, you're definitely gonna love this show. The only people who are not gonna love this show if there's no like drama or like people who are like, hey, this show is kind of like it's a generic show. And honestly, it isn't, but like, if you're one of those people who don't like superhero shows or like shows that explore superheroes and you're not into that lore and all that, then I suggest you watch other shows. But this show is more driven to people who like Marvel or people who just like characters or unexplored and all that. And honestly, it's like she doesn't have powers. She's kind of like a detective story. It's not really, oh yeah, well she is Wonder Woman. Yeah, rope of truth. Nothing one of that. It's one of these shows where it's a detective story and it's like more of an action driven, plot driven, all of that. And honestly, I think that this is one of the shows. I give it 2 thumbs up. That's my rating, and I think you can definitely recommend watching it. I didn't spoil much in this video because the show wasn't bad. It wasn't the worst show ever. It was one of the best shows, and honestly, I could say a lot about this show, but really, you gotta look into this show right now. And honestly, season 2 is coming out this Tuesday, so might as well binge watch it the whole thing. And honestly, if anyone, because I have exams, so if any one of you have exams and all that, you're like, oh, man, I got exams, I got a math exam, and you're like, all right, let me just chill for a second, just binge watch the whole like 40 minutes. I'm not doing the calculation for you. Do whatever you want. Anyway, watch the show, enjoy it, and that's been up, guys. So, what did you think of the show? I thought it was one of the best shows in the world. I can't express that any much, and I'm probably gonna have a sin count for that. Probably up there. If it's not up there, then sorry, guys, I didn't put it up there. Anyway, guys, so you guys like it or not? Tell me your opinions and what is your favorite superhero? I want to let you guys know that this is my first video, so if you have any criticisms about this video or things that I gotta improve on, don't say like suck a dick or some shit like that. Give me some positive or negative criticisms, as long as it helps me. If it doesn't, I'm not gonna do anything. Anyway, guys, that's been out. I'm the Cheese Monster. Cheese it up and make it slice.